again, YouTubers and everybody on the Cody forum. I have another update for the Krypton mod and the Leia mod of MQ7, and I have a new video, of course, to go along with that. And I have something new at the end of the video. It has to deal with movie sets that I wanted to share with you. Actually, pretty cool, and got that working the other day. I've been trying to get that working for a while, but I'll share that with you at the end of the video. We have some new additions, some fixes, and a little bit of maintenance I did. So let's get into it. The first thing are the additions, and the first one was a request from the user PH-SYM on the Cody forum. He asked if I could move the media flags down. This only pertains to some views. Right list was the first one that I noticed this on. He asked if I could move the subtitle language over some. When you have, I added that the IMDb top 250. Let's go ahead and get into it here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So this is the right list view, and you can see this movie is not in the IMDb top 250, so you don't have the problem. But over to the bottom right on the media flags, you see the subtitle language flags. If you have multiple flags, of course, it will show, or multiple subtitles, it will show multiple flags, one per subtitle, and also with the language to the left, it will show multiple languages. With the addition of the IMDb top 250 flag to this, it pushes everything to the right of that, of course, over to the right, and it was hiding some of the subtitle flags if you had multiple subtitles. Well, I added an animation. I cut down the language down to just to display two, and it had three that it could show, but I cut that down to just two, and it will slide the subtitles over to the left if you have the IMDb top 250. So we'll go down to a movie. A Beautiful Mind is one that has. So if you notice, that subtitle slid over to the left when you have an IMDb top 250. We'll watch it again. Watch this. So you see that slide, that animation, it slides it over to the left. So from now on, if it's in the top 250, you'll get two languages and two subtitle flags. So that's the first edition. We'll get out of there. The next edition is a request from the user Grimace92. He asked if I could add the awards code to the CodyFlix media flags. Past two updates ago, I think I added these Oscar awards you see above the poster, or the box for the movie. He wanted me to add that to CodyFlix. So we will switch over to CodyFlix, and I'll show you what I have. So you see over to the right, if the movie has won or been nominated for an Oscar, you will get the Oscar images now displaying on the media flags on CodyFlix. These first two that we just talked about, they are for both Krypton and Leia. This next one is just for Leia. So let's get over to the VM here. Okay, so this is the Leia mod. This has to do with the music view Shelf 3D version 2. So let's get in there to Shelf 3D, and we need to look at albums. I believe, yep. So this is a Shelf 3D version 2. I've been wanting to add the spine image to the front of the jewel box here. I can't do it with Krypton, but I wanted to try it with Leia to see if there was any difference, and I was successful in adding the spine. So I'll show you one here. So you see the front will display the spine image now, and in the back it was working with Krypton as well, but you couldn't get that to work with Krypton. But Leia, it does display. The only problem I'm having right now, you see this one doesn't have a spine image. With Krypton, And before I changed the code with Leia, it would display the artist name on the front spine there. Right now, I'm still uh, working, trying to get that to display. The spine works just fine if you have a spine image, but if you don't, it won't display anything on there. I can't get it to display the artist right now. Still working that part, but I just think it does look a lot nicer with the zoomed in jewel box there and having that spine image available. So that is just for Leia. The next one is for both. This was from the user. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. It's LUPINSANSEI. He requested for the Codiflix view for movies. Let's go back into movies and I'll show you what I've done. So over to the left, you'll see there's a kind of a shadow there. It's hiding, about maybe a fourth, maybe not quite a fourth of the image there. So if you go, we'll go to movie here. You'll see that the shadow allows you to see more of the movie information. It was kind of hard to see when okay, it's not playing a theme here. So some of the logo and the movie information, if you had a lighter fan art image, it was kind of hard to read. So he requested if I could do something to allow you to see that, and I added this shadow image, and I also added a radio button up here under the Codiflix options. You'll see at the bottom you have a remove shadow button now. If you turn that on, it will of course go away. So a little control to that. If you don't want that shadow there, you can just turn it off. But I do like that shadow. You can see it a lot, the movie info a lot better now. Okay, the next one was from the user ABRESS. He requested on the right list music view to display local disk art first and then revert to the skin helper script if you don't have local disk art. And that code has been added. I had it added for movies for quite a while, but I didn't have that code and right list for music. But it is available now, and it will use your local disk art first. And I also added, I'll show you this, tying into that for, let's go to right list. So if you want to turn off the disk art, you can do that as well. So I just added a button under the view options there to disable the disk art if you want to turn that off. Okay, moving on to our fixes. This one is for Leia only, and the same user, ABRESS on the Cody forum, mentioned this, that the music MP3 logo was not displaying on Style 5. Well, it is now. I forgot to add that file. It was a new image I had to add to the textures file, and on the last update I forgot to add that file. It works on the if you're using the colored media icons, but if you use the standard that come with the skin, the MP3 logo wasn't showing. And right now I'm having a problem. Apparently a lot of people are having, or other, not a lot, but some others are having the problem when you try to compile the textures file. It's not working any longer with the skin. I don't know if adding this extra image just exceeded the file size that it could compile, or what the deal is, but I can't compile a texture file anymore for Krypton or Leia, either one. I don't know what's going on. The colored media icons, that textures file, it compiles just fine, but it's only like 96 meg. The skins texture file is getting up, it's over 200 meg now, I think. So it's just having problems trying to compile that. Not sure what the deal is. Maybe there'll be a fix for that here pretty soon. But for now, check your media folder on these updates, because you're going to have to copy just for Leia. I don't have a new one yet that's required for Krypton, but for Leia, check your media folder, and you're going to have to start copying the images and some subfolders over to get all the images you need until I can get this texture problem fixed. Okay, moving on to the next one. This has to do with both Krypton and Leia. Staying with style 5, the artist name. If it was missing the logo, if you didn't have a clear logo available for an artist, it was displaying the artist name, but it was in the wrong position. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's go. So this group, another jazz band I listen to, there's no clear logo for them. It didn't download one, so when you play a song, it displays the artist name. So you see up top there, this is style 5. I'll go ahead and pause this. So the artist name displays now in the correct position, and it will slide down, yep, just like the logo does. If you had similar artist, if it would coming out, the animation will slide it down just like your clear logo does. And this was asked for by Dave.B on the Cody forum, so got a fix for you there for style 5. The next one is for both, staying with this same style, style 5. I noticed that if you paused a song, the disc art, it slides off to the left, but it was sliding way off to the left. Almost a portion of it was actually sliding off the screen. You see right now that there's no disc art. It's still spinning, but it's hiding behind the album art. I repositioned the disc art to slide and completely go behind the the album art. So if you turn the song, we'll play it again, and you'll see now you have the disc is out there spinning, and if you pause the song, you'll see it slides back behind the album art. Just wanted to add that little fix to that. Another fix for style 5 and style 3D, the next song you see over to the right, the album art on that, the aspect ratio was off a little. It was cutting the left portion of the album art, and I wanted to fix that, so I did. That is for style 5 and the style 3D. So both of those, you will see the full album art now on the next song. Another problem or a fix was a problem with the Rotten Tomatoes rating flag in Kodi displaying when the focused item was empty. So let me get out of here. We'll go to back to movies, and we'll go to Kodi. So you see now you don't get any. All the media flags are gone if you go back to if you're going to go up a directory. So before this was still displaying that Rotten Tomatoes icon out there, so I fixed that where it won't display anymore. That's for both Krypton and Leia. Okay, the next 3 fixes, they all pertain only to Leia. The first one is the IMDb Top 250 media flag, and the rating information, it was not displaying. I have a fix for that now, so it will display. And you saw that with, so you see here underneath this movie, the IMDb Top 250, that flag is now working on Leia. The next one, I adjusted the position of the disc art in widgets. It was just a little low. The code was the same as Krypton, but for some reason it changed the position of that disc art if you're out on widgets. So I do have a fix for that, and I'll show you this one there. So you see the disc art is up a little higher. It was I don't know, about 20-30 pixels down from where it should be, so I went ahead and moved that up. Okay, the next one is for DVD shelf layout in Kodi. Let's go back to that, and I believe I have, yeah, I have this. So this is the DVD shelf layout in Codeflix, and you see that the studio icons are above the movie box there. That was not working on Leia, but I have a fix for that now. And the next one, this fix is for both Krypton and Leia. The artist recently added widget. It was not displaying the name of the widget when you were browsing through artists. And I think I have that one selected on music right now. Yeah, so you see over there to the right, the artist recently added. That was not displaying when you had this widget selected. So I have a fix for that. Okay, what's next here? The last thing we're going to talk about is a little maintenance I did on the skin. First one, go back to movies. This is for the movie info screen. So you see on the Metacritic, there was code to display if it couldn't pull the Metacritic total critics information, it would say no critics, but that's not working anymore anyway with Skin Helper. So I just changed that to say Metacritic, regardless of whether it has critics or not. So that'll be that way from here on out. And the last bit of maintenance I did, I changed some of the code on List 3D version 2 and Shelf 3D version 2, as well as the 3D music player layout. And this affects your thumb back images on the back of the jewel box. It's been using the file name thumbback.jpg to display those. Well, there's a thread going right now in the Kodi forum discussing naming conventions. They want to get a kind of a universal naming convention going for Leia, and I think that's a good idea. And the table that they have, well, everybody's going to eventually agree to this table for the naming convention. It looks like they're going to use just back.jpg as the name of your thumbback image. So I changed all the code to go ahead and use back as the image name. Of course, spine is going to remain spine.jpg, but I did change that on Krypton and Leia. So I went ahead and renamed all of my thumbback images to just back.jpg, and everything seems to be working just fine like that. So that'll be the new agreed upon name, it looks like. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to show you, this has to do with your movie sets. Like I said, let's go back. So you see, let's change the layout to box sets so you see a little bigger image. So you see these animations. These are animated movie set, the clear logos and the poster. There's not very many of these, only about a handful. I think I've got 5 movie sets that have animations like this. I've been trying for a while to get this to work, and I couldn't, but I finally figured it out. And it was not really a problem. It was just me not scrolling far enough to choose this. But I'll show you how I do this. So we'll say for this one we wanted to select a animated poster. So you go down to Manage and choose Art, and you see that it's already selected there. So you want to choose Poster, and you see if it's similar to mine, I have these remote art images for posters. You can scroll through these. There's a ton of them. Well, I kept scrolling down and page down, page down. Well, it kept saying remote art, and I didn't think I could browse and choose my own image for that animated poster. But if you keep scrolling down, and you'll see I wasn't paying attention there at the bottom. It tells you how many pages you have. Just keep scrolling down to get to the last page, and the last option you have is browse. And then you have that animated image saved on your hard drive. You browse for that directory and choose it, and you will be able to use that animated poster, and you can do the same thing for the clear logo. So if you manage, choose art, go down here to clear logo, you see that one selected. You don't get the big list like you did with poster, so you can browse right there and select the animated artwork. So I will include, there'll be a zip file that the user Chris6 sent me that has these animated set images. I appreciate that, Chris6. These are really cool. I will include that zip file on the update for Krypton and Leia, and you can download those and use those on your sets. All right, that is everything that I have for the new update for Krypton and Leia. If you have any problems with either one of these, comment below on the video or post over in the Cody forum, and I'll see what I can do to fix the problems. If you find any more bugs, continue to post them. I'm trying to get both of these as bug free as possible. Maybe one day it'll happen. I doubt it. The bugs just keep popping up, but I'll keep squashing them as best I can. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. God bless. Take care. Bye.